Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the grinning emoji. I know that this seems kind of like a weird thing to tutorial, but a lot of you guys requested emojis in my iPhone 6 tutorial. By the way, link in the description and in the cards for my iPhone 6 if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. So I decided to make about 5 of them, and I am warning you guys, this one is the weakest out of the 5 that I've made. This one was particularly difficult because of the shape of the eyes and the shape of the mouth. I had to adjust it a little bit, but hopefully you guys like it anyway, and like I said, I have made a lot of these, so if you like this one, I'll tutorial quite a few of the others that I've made as well. So if you want to make it regardless, sorry for going on that speech, if you want to make it regardless, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black wool, some yellow wool, also grab white wool, and finally grab yourself some brown black stained clay, and those are the only materials that you're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your face with a single black wool on the floor, like that. Then from that black wool, do an up left diagonal. Go left of that diagonal by 2. 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal. Go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. Go left by 1. Then do 3 up left diagonals. 1, 2, 3. Then go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up by 2. 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upright diagonal. And go up by 2. 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal. And go up by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. And go up by 1. Then do 3 upright diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then go right of that third upright diagonal by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go right by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go right by 2. 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal, and go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go right by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go right by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go right by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Go down from that third bottom right diagonal by 1. Then do another bottom right diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do another bottom right diagonal, and go down by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, then go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do 3 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Go left of that third bottom left diagonal by 1. Then do another bottom left diagonal, and go left by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go left by 2. 1, 2. Then finish this off by doing a bottom left diagonal and connecting everything together by doing 3 black wool to connect the first block and that last block that you place together. And what you want to end up with is a shape that should look a little bit like this, a nice big circular shape. And once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we now want to come all the way down to the bottom row of 5 at the bottom of our face. With our yellow wool, we want to go on top of these 3 bottom black blocks with our yellow, each by 1. So do 1 row of 3 yellow. Then do 2 more coming up, so that's 1 and 2. So you want to be 3 rows of yellow off of the ground. You then want to do a row of 3 black wool on top of that third row of yellow. Then starting from this left hand black wool right here, do an up left diagonal. Then go left by 2, 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal. And go left by 1. Then do 3 up left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal and place 1 on top, like so. What you want to end up with is a shape that should look a little bit like this. The reason that I'm cutting this off here is because it turns out that I forgot to turn off the daylight cycle. Whoops, my bad. One moment. Sorry about that, slight error on my part. So, it doesn't actually matter too much, because once you've done that sequence of blocks, going up left diagonally from that original row of 3, you now want to return back down to this row of 3 that started things off, and now starting from the right hand block, you want to do an upright diagonal. Then go right by 2, 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal. And go right by 1. Then do 3 upright diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then go up on top of the third upright diagonal by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. And go up by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. And go up by 1. You now want to take this top block that you've just made and you want to drag it all the way over to the left until you eventually connect all the way back to where we just were a couple of minutes ago, and you want to end up with a shape that should look exactly like this, and that is just the outline of the mouth. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we're going to fill in the mouth whilst we're here, guys, why not? So you want to take out your brown stained clay, or alternatively you can use brown wool if you want, it's kind of up to you, I just like the clay. And you want to start off the mouth by just doing a row of brown clay that sits underneath that top row of black wool that we have right there. You then, for the next row coming down, you want to do a single brown clay on the ends of the row, and then you want to fill the entire center part of your row in with white wool, so you kind of just want to have this shape, like that. You then, for the next row coming down, you want to, with your white wool again, you just want to do a row of white wool that is one shorter on each end than the previous long row of white, and then you can just fill the rest of the row in with brown clay. And now for the final row, you now want to do another row of white wool that is 3 shorter on each side than the previous row, like that, and that's just the teeth eventually getting smaller, that's just the top row. And what you then want to do is just fill everywhere else in with brown clay, just as I'm doing now. So just fill everywhere in with brown clay, that you have empty space, and that's all you want to do, and that's all the detail that exists for the mouth, and as a matter of fact that's most of the detail that exists in this pixel art. So once you've completely got the mouth taken care of, and I'll just show you what it looks like in brown clay. But if you don't like brown clay, you could also use black stained clay or brown wool, it's kind of up to you, but that's what you want for the mouth. And once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the final 2 parts. So now all we have to do is add the eyes. So come all the way up to the top of your pixel art, take out your yellow wool, and we'll start with the left eye first. So the left eye, you want to come all the way to this block right here at the top left hand side of your pixel art. Going down from this block that I have highlighted, it will be really easy to find. You want to do a row of 5 yellow coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then take out your black wool and do a row of 7 black coming down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you have your row of 7 black, you then just want to shape the eye a little bit. You want to do a row of 5 on the left and right hand side of that row of 7 black like this, just in the center, just left and right, a row of 5 like so. You then want to do the exact same thing in the equivalent position on the right hand side. So on the right hand side, top right hand side, you want to, from this block, do a row of 5 yellow coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do a row of 7 black coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you just want to do your row of 5 black wool on the left and right hand sides to give you something which should look a little bit like this. And those are just your emoji's eyes. Nice and simple. All we have to do now to complete the rest of this pixel art is just completely fill this thing in with yellow wool, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. And that's all you have to do, just completely fill all of the other empty space in with yellow wool, and you will be as good as done. And that'll be that, guys. So I could probably cut this out of the recording, but I think I'll leave it in here, why not? And I will point out a couple of things about this. I know that this thing, I know that it's not exactly right. I know that it's not 100% dead on in relation to like the actual emoji itself, and I know what's wrong about it as well. I mean, in the actual emoji, you've kind of got like an aura of orange that goes around the edge. I added that, didn't like it. It actually looks better, in my opinion, with just plain yellow. Second thing, the mouth shape. The mouth is ever so slightly differently shaped. At the top, it kind of collapses in a little bit. It's a little concave on the top. I didn't do that. I retained kind of like the semicircle shape. And the reason for that is, again, it just looks a little bit better at this size with just like a half circle rather than just, you know, kind of like the collapsed in shape, like the grin, more kind of like a banana, like a larger banana shape. That's kind of what it's supposed to look like, but it doesn't look good on this scale. At a larger scale, you could definitely make it work, but at kind of like a relatively medium scale like this, I just made the mouth that shape, and it looks pretty decent. Also, I know that the eyes don't look 100% dead on. In the actual emoji itself, again, the eyes are a little bit more oval shaped. I mean, that's as close as you can get here. You only really have 3 blocks leeway. You can't really make the eyes too much bigger. You can't even really add one row without it looking a little bit goofy, but that's just a personal decision. So I know what is wrong with this, and the reason that I chose to keep it as it is instead of changing it, because I could have changed it, I could have added all of those things. I think it does look better like this. That's just plain and simple. So you can change it if you want, you can mold it a little bit, but I think that this is the best result at this size. Again, like I said, you could change the shape of the mouth, the eyes, add a circle of orange around the inside of the outline, and you might like it a little better. That's completely up to you, but in my personal opinion, this is the best looking that it gets. Hopefully you guys like this. If you do want to see more emojis, I have made quite a few more, and I'm only going to upload them and make them if you guys actually do like this one. So if you do like this one, please give it a like, share, favourite. This was completely due to your request. I would have never have made these had you guys not asked for them. And if you do like this, feel free to recommend any other faces, like, oh no, crying face, love face, cringe face, any that you want to see. Feel free to leave it down in the comments, and feel free to check out the iPhone 6 in the card system and in the description below, which kind of spawned all of this. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like it, and I will see you in the next video.